The folks you see behind me represent over 70% of the public in Minnesota who have clearly stated we do not have to live with gun violence the way we do, and that there are things that our elected officials should be doing to make our children and our communities safer. To the folks who are up here and to our Annunciation parents, I'm deeply sorry that you are reliving this trauma again. I could only imagine over the weekend as the pit in my stomach when I watched the video of the students sheltering in place as gunshots were fired at Brown University, and then watching the aftermath of that. And every time this happens, everyone relives this. And after the summer that we've had with Melissa and Mark, Gilbert's murder, with John and Yvette, with Annunciation, with Brian Thompson, just numerous events, we're all victims of gun violence now in Minnesota. And the public has been saying it. They've been saying it since June 14th. They've been saying it since that horrific day at Annunciation. They continue to say it. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And I've traveled across the state. These folks have traveled across the states. I've said in town halls, the deep sense of frustration, the deep sense of anger, the deep sense of grief and loss around gun violence, and to watch people stand and deflect and word salad about everything of this. There's too damn many guns and the wrong types of guns on the street. And I don't want to hear how do you define assault weapon. I damn sure can assign what it is and describe what it is and tell you what it does. And unfortunately, we have a whole bunch of parents now who know a lot more about what these weapons were meant to do. Not meant to shoot deer. They're not meant to plink. Whoever a Republican senator said he likes to plink, and how dare we take away his plinking. They are meant to kill large numbers of people as quickly as possible and with as much damage as they can possibly do. I do not have the capacity as governor to issue an executive order to get rid of those. But what I do have the ability to do is to start to move in a direction. What we know is with the legislators you're going to hear from and the leadership of the advocacy groups here, we were able to move the most significant gun safety legislation in Minnesota history in the 2023 session. And again, without a single vote from our Republican colleagues on things like extreme risk protection orders, which everyone, and the data came out, shows that we've saved lives. They've been issued over 350 times. We can do much more. So this first executive order, 2512, expands the outreach, expands the education, expands the ability to get folks who know and can ask for an extreme risk protection order, get those things in place. Something that we were not able to get through the 2023 session, which nearly stuns me in its simplicity, its need, and the recklessness, if you are not doing this, around safe storage of firearms so children and others can't get into these in homes. Every month or so, we see one of these where we have an accidental firearm. That is not an accident, that is negligence by not locking that firearm correctly and not having proper storage around it. We will continue to educate on that. We will continue to get it out, and I would certainly encourage the legislature to move on this, to make that the case, because I can tell you myself and every other responsible gun owners have trigger locks on those things and have them put away. It's that simple, and that needs to be done. And the next one is one where Minnesota is going to take a lead on 2513. Since 1996 and the Dickey Amendment, it basically froze this nation's ability to do research around gun violence so that people could hold up their hands and say, I don't know, it seems like we have a lot more. No, we just don't have a lot more. We are the murder gun capital of the planet because people have made the decision to protect gun manufacturers and those who don't want to take responsible action. So 2513 will lay the groundwork that will require insurance companies to provide us the data on the cost of gun violence and guns in this state. And we are going to use that data to do the research that the federal government is too cowardice to do, to understand that this is a public health crisis that could be attacked like any other public health crisis if we simply had the courage. So I encourage those insurance companies to get your lawyers if that's what you want to do and not provide this data. But I can tell you this thing is rock solid and you're going to provide it. And we're going to do the research on it, and we're going to have more evidence exactly to make the case. And we're going to establish a statewide safety council. This is an all-or-government approach. Those who want to talk about one thing, the job of governor involves multitasking on many fronts. And you damn sure don't get to drive around and not talk about dead children and things. To be very clear, There is one person stopping us from having a vote in the House of Representatives right now to ban assault weapons, which in recent polling showed 70% of Minnesotans support, 78% in the suburbs strongly support. Only 18% of people are strongly opposed to doing this. So the Speaker of the House should not be standing with the 18%. She should be standing with the 70%. She should be standing with the parents, and those are up here. She should be standing with law enforcement who knows this is the right thing we should do, and we in Minnesota are going to do it. So we had time. We should have been doing this, but this is a run out the clock. This is the oldest strategy in the world. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we can define what an assault weapon is. I don't know. Do you really think limiting them to less than 100 bullets is going to do anything? Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is going to save lives. Just like the extreme risk protection orders, which I can pull quotes from many of these folks who said, this will do nothing. This will not protect lives. This will take away our freedoms. It's time to start reporting that that is all bullshit. It does do something. It does make a difference. And to stand here and have to look in the eyes of parents who lost their little ones, shame on them. And shame on us if we don't get this done. So I have to tell you, I'm proud to stand with the people who are here. You're going to hear from advocates. You're going to hear from legislators who passed this legislation. And you're going to hear from someone who's been a partner in this for as long as I've known him, someone who has used the rule of law to try and keep people safer, someone who stands with the people of Minnesota, and especially on this issue of gun violence prevention.